Hey Taurus, what's going on? We're here with a timeless reading. Welcome. Okay, first card that we have out is Eight of Cups, Four of Swords, Strength. Looks like you're taking a break from something. It seems like this is to think about something, to reflect on something, like that's why you're taking a break. It feels like you're pulling back to do this. You can feel like something is coming up for you, like something would be needed of you, something sort of being asked of you, and this review is important to get clear on exactly like what that is for yourself. And Strength is feeling like this is something that would potentially be challenging, meaning you may be becoming more and more aware of what you feel like you're being called to do within a situation based off of how you're feeling. Having Strength and having Four of Swords here is feeling like sort of like working yourself up to the point of being able to do what needs to be done. Meaning you're having feelings about what you should do in a situation, what you want to do, what you're feeling called to do, and also what you're not feeling called to do. Four of Swords feels like I'm clearing out the space so I can really hear what's going on, so I can really see everything clearly in a space where I'm feeling centered, and so I know my third eye is cleared, I'm able to see the big picture here. And Strength feels like whatever it is that you need to do to get yourself into the space to be capable of doing this. I'm seeing like matches here, maybe something that's going to light a fire underneath you to motivate you to address what this is that needs to be addressed. This is something right now that you are feeling like you want to do something about it, because it feels like inaction is going to lead you to feel more and more disconnected with yourself and what your feelings are really telling you about this situation. But you could feel like if you don't take this time with the Four of Swords to step back and reflect on it, that it may be something you can ignore. Maybe it's not going to be a thing that's super clear to you. And again, with Strength, it feels like, you know, when you need to like pump yourself up to do something, to talk yourself into doing something, like really encourage yourself. That's what this is feeling like. Like, I'm seeing that I'm feeling this way or not feeling this way. It has to do with your feelings. Four of Swords is going to be the understanding, like the cognitive side of that. So there's the feeling, there's the cognitive awareness, and then Strength is like what you need to do to get to the place to then do what needs to be done here, what you feel needs to be done, what you feel like you're being called to do here. You know your feelings, trust them. You could feel like this is taking a lot out of you emotionally, and there can also be some reasons why you might want to avoid this, but it feels like if this is something that you ignore, that you're gonna feel like you're splitting yourself in two. So I'm seeing this be the challenge to address currently. Yeah. The challenge seems to be getting the time that you need alone to actually reflect on this. Maybe you're around a lot of people, or maybe you're busy a lot of the time. Maybe you have a lot going on, or maybe you... what's coming through is something about like distracting yourself so you don't have to think about it. So again, like you may be keeping yourself busy or just like doing other things rather than sitting and thinking about this, because it may be something that you kind of know in the back of your mind, but at the same time you could be like, I know that if I get to the point where I actually like sit down and recognize this and really think about it, then I have no choice other than to address it. And you could feel like you haven't really been in this space where you really want to take this on, but it seems like now you're moving into a place where you're preparing yourself to take this on, because you can't really ignore how you're feeling anymore. you know that if you do something, it's going to be a change for the better, like it's going to be moves for the better that you're doing, but at the same time, there can be a part of you that feels like when things stay the same, even if it's uncomfortable, at least it's predictable, at least it's routine, at least it's calculated. Now you doing something about this situation can feel like, if I do that, I'm introducing a type of like unpredictability to a situation where I don't know what's going to happen if I address this. I don't know where that's going to lead me, and things are going to shift around and things are going to change around. And I feel like the sign of Taurus, out of like all the fixed signs, it's so deeply ingrained and connected with our routines and what we're used to, like what we are physically used to playing out, because it's an earth sign. So it's like what do I do when I get up in the morning and when I'm talking to this person and all of that. It's like the stuff that you feel comfortable within because it provides a sense of security and safety because it's familiar. And this feels like it would be introducing something potentially that would be unfamiliar because you don't know exactly what would happen if you choose to address this. But also at the same time, it feels like your heart is calling to you and being like, why are we still doing this? Because it can even feel emotionally a bit of, I won't say a waste of your time, but you could feel like you're using your energy for this, whereas you could be taking it and putting it into something that would feel like you're exploring your potential more so, or even getting more enjoyment emotionally out of things or feeling wise out of things. I get the feeling too that something is just, you could feel like you're not getting a lot out of this, whatever this thing is. Let's actually clarify. What do we want to use to clarify? We use this deck. Let's clarify what the Eight of Cups is. The Eight of Cups is going to be whatever this situation is for you, where you could be feeling like if you continue doing it, you're like splitting yourself because of sort of hearing something, feeling something, but then not taking action on it. I do feel like this could be an obligation of sorts. What is this Eight of Cups? Can we get a clarifier? You may be still figuring out your feelings about this. It feels like something is off, but you may not know what it is yet. Something's going on. You're definitely picking up on something. You're definitely feeling something. Maybe too, this is why the Four of Swords is needed to actually see clearly what it is that's going on. Because Eight of Cups doesn't mean that you're gonna like wipe your hands of a situation. It can mean that you're gonna change something within it, not be doing something or incorporate something new into the situation or different. But I do feel like there's going to be an exploration of maybe some mixed feelings that you're having, because maybe on one hand, you feel like there's something for you. Maybe on the other hand, you're not necessarily feeling like that. And maybe both of those things are going on. Like it can be a situation where it's like you have lots of different feelings about it. And maybe that's also too why Four of Swords and the Hermit is needed. For you to spend some time with yourself and figure this out. Because it feels like feeling-wise you have it figured out. Like you know that you're picking up on something. You know that you're sensing something, that you're feeling something. But from a like cognizant standpoint, you can feel like it hasn't fully set in yet. It feels like also too, because this is mixed with maybe some worries or some anxiety or some like, I don't know what to do here or how to approach this. That can also be some of the vibe. But I'm getting that once you sit with yourself on this, you're going to know how to move forward. I think you're going to see that you have options available to you that you may not be realizing right now. But when you sit with it, you're going to see, is what I'm seeing. So this isn't a matter of not knowing. It's a matter of just needing to be still and tune into this. And then the answers are going to be there. You'll know what you need to do. I'm getting this again. You may have a difficult time, like, you can have a difficult time getting alone. You can have a difficult time being by yourself. even if it's like not you deliberately doing it, maybe you have a lot of people around you, or maybe you're really busy, whatever this is, I'm seeing it be a challenge to sort of have this private reflection. Maybe you feel like there's even a lack of privacy, like whatever this is for you, I'm seeing it be difficult for you to sort of go in your corner of the room and think about things privately, to reflect. Like, you know that you're feeling something. At the same time, you could feel like there's a lot of stuff going on that sort of hinders you at times from getting into that space because you have stuff to do or things moving around. I do feel like as well, maybe part of the resistance to... I am seeing a little bit of resistance here. I'm not seeing this be the most major thing, but I'm seeing a little bit. You're still coming to terms with something. I think that part of the reason why you may be struggling to get this time to sort of tune in to what's going on here and reflect on it is because if you do that, it feels like you're going to have to face your feelings. Having 8 of Cups can be a situation that you were in because at one point in time you thought that you were going to get something that you needed from this situation, or you were, but you're not anymore. So it's something that you go into and there's like nothing left to pull from the situation anymore, or aspects of the situation. It doesn't have to be the whole thing. I'm seeing a 5 of Cups here, which is like, oh, I can't like go back there and pull from that anymore. But there can be a part of you that's resistant to admitting that, because then it means that there's going to be an acceptance of what that is, and that can feel like a strain emotionally on you. And there can be a part of you that's like, I don't know if I can take that, you know? It's reminding me of like, say you've been in a bunch of relationships before and now you're with somebody, and at first it was going really well. This is just an example. At first it was going really well, and now you can find yourself at a point where you're like, I'm feeling like things that I need are missing from this. It can even be a job situation, like really whatever. It's something where before there could have been a sense of fulfillment, there could have been a sense of satisfaction, there could have been a sense of connection, purpose. You could have felt like there was, I feel like connection more than anything. However, you could feel like you're going back to it and now not really able to feel that from it anymore, like not able to pull that from it anymore. So it's like, I try to connect, but there's a faulty wire here. Like something isn't plugged in the way that it was before. You can feel like that's draining you a bit as well. Like I don't know, do I go back into this and figure it out, or do I step away? And I'm not even seeing that be the biggest thing here to be addressing. I'm seeing it be more so being honest with yourself about what this situation is for you first. Because it feels like until you do that, you're not really going to be able to do anything else with it. But you could be feeling something, there being some resistance to feeling sad or admitting whatever it is, feeling disappointed, feeling like it didn't match with what you thought that it was going to be, all of those things, and you being like, I don't know if I can take that. Like, this has happened to me before, I don't know if I could go through this another time, like that type of thing. And so I think there's that part of you that's like, I don't know if I'm strong enough to be able to do this, or I don't know if I'm strong enough right now, I don't know if I'm in the place right now to be able to do this. What I'm seeing is that you definitely are, but it's also connected with sort of how you're perceiving yourself in this. That's definitely going to impact. Because I'm not seeing anything that you're not able to get through. I'm not seeing anything that you're not capable of moving through, but I'm definitely seeing something that's emotionally challenging more than anything for you. And it can be something where by keeping things busy and not taking the time to sit with yourself and let it sink in, there can be a part of you that's avoiding something unpleasant emotionally that you could be like, I don't know if I'm ready to really do that yet. Lean on whatever it is that you have for emotional support, your coping strategies, those things definitely going to be helpful. helping you steady the ship. I will say this too. With this situation, with this Eight of Cups, it can mean that, like, once you admit that something isn't working for you and that something needs improvement, then at that point you can see if there's room for improvement versus you need to close out a cycle entirely. So just know that just because you look at something and you're like, there is room for improvement here, or like, I need something to change about this, it doesn't mean that this situation is no longer for you at all anymore. But it means that once you're like, okay, I'm seeing that something is off here, I'm going to reflect and figure out, like, what's the missing piece, or what are the missing pieces. Then it's going to allow you to problem solve. So just know that whatever this is, it doesn't have to be so black and white. And that may have been part of the reason why you were avoiding something, because of being like, well, if this isn't working, does that mean it just like won't work at all? But it's going to depend for each of you what the situation is, what you're willing to do. Also, for some of you, there are other people involved in this, or another person involved in that. So this can be part of it too. But I'm seeing the main thing be like from a grounded space where you're really tuning into yourself. You have to ask yourself like what you need in order to feel the 10 of Cups. It's like, what are my emotional values? Like, what's important to me emotionally? What do I need emotionally? Regardless of what the situation is. A work situation, a friendship situation, a partnership, a family member situation. Like, whatever this could be, your relationship with your spirituality, can be so many different things. Anything that you would feel a sense of connection with, like internal connection, this can be applied to. And if you choose to do honest self-reflection here emotionally with yourself, you're going to be able to solve this problem here. Problem meaning like it's an equation and there's a solution. So we start with 8 of Cups and we end with 10 of Cups. How do you get from 8 of Cups to 10 of Cups? The 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups is going to be the answer for you. Like, that is what that's like X in this problem, okay? If you can figure out what it is that you need to bring together, what it is that you need to feel that sense of connection, you can then add it to the situation to get the 10 of Cups at the end, which is going to be you feeling like things are connected, feeling like things are working the way that they're supposed to, feeling like things are plugged in again. So that's all that needs to happen here with this. But until you admit that you're not feeling in the 10 of Cups, you're going to have a hard time getting there. Because it's like admitting that there isn't a problem, and so you're not going to be addressing anything. So this is why that's needed. And so also too, some of you may be finding that things are happening, like maybe you're having plans that are getting canceled, or just stuff that isn't working out where the universe is like, you need time alone. You may find that things like that are happening to sort of put you into your corner so you can think about this stuff, reflect on this stuff, and see what to do here to be present to what's going on within this. I'm seeing Virgo and I'm seeing Leo here. Keep your head up. I'm seeing the 10 of Cups be here, so this means that it's possible for you to connect with this. You just need to check in with yourself and figure out what needs to be added to this situation to make it connect again for you. But that doesn't mean it's over and done with. Okay? All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.